Hello. I am here today to do a review of the Jones oboe reeds. Any music store you go to, they'll probably have a Jones oboe reed if you ask for it. So in this video, I'm here to tell you about my review of the medium soft, the medium, and the medium hard Jones reeds. And I'm also here to teach you how to maybe tackle some problems with the reeds. Let's get started. When you get a reed from the store, you really don't have control over what you're getting. You just go in and you're like, yeah, that's cheap. That's cheap. I think I'll buy that. And that might not always be the best reason to buy an oboe reed. So I think the first thing we need to clarify is, if you're going cheaper with an oboe reed, you might need to be a little savvy. This is the medium soft oboe reed. When you pull one of these things out of the case, you'll probably notice that it has a really big opening. All three of these have a very large opening. And you'll also notice the reed is really wide. So you can see I drew a picture of just how wide these reeds are. So what I'm gonna do is soak this reed up. And I'm gonna play on the medium soft reed for you first. And I'm gonna let you hear how it sounds and give you my opinion on the reed. So the first thing I'm gonna check is, look at that opening. Okay, can I blow air through it? Because this is how much air a student is going to need to play on this reed. An awful lot. And just upon pulling this out of the case and my first time playing it, this is an extremely hard reed, and it's labeled medium soft. So let's see what we can do with this. I'm gonna play it as is. So the first thing you'll notice is I need a lot of air to make this reed work. You give this to a beginner, I bet what'll happen is this. And you probably have a beginner playing a B flat, and it's probably coming out as an A or an A flat or even a G. So let me give you some advice on how to tackle this, because this is not completely dead. This is not something that you have to throw away. If this is all you have available, then you have to make it work. So the first thing I noticed is that opening is so large. That's why you have to blow so much air. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna hold it right here, and you're gonna shut the reed. Do not do this if the reed has not been soaked. You will crack it. Now, what I'm doing is I'm training the reed to memorize a new opening. Now, the next thing you can do is take your other hand and right behind your fingers, gently squeeze the reed down. We call this giving the reed a back massage. We're gonna do this maybe for a minute or two, and we're gonna see if that closes the reed down. Now again, remember, you can only touch in the middle of the reed and the top of the reed. Please do not touch the bottom of the reed where the bark is. You might damage the reed or crack it, and you cause it to go even flatter. So let's see if this helps. Already the opening is much smaller, and you want to get this opening as small as you can with these reeds. So these are not complete throwaways. They can be dealt with. Now, one thing I would advise you to do, if you're comfortable enough with adjusting reeds, is to just give it one of those good old American backs. So when I'm talking about the American back, I'm talking about taking a little bit out of the reed right here. If you want to close down the reed, you can scrape just a little bit out, maybe halfway up the channels.
Let's see if that helps.
Okay, dip it in water. So that's what I would do to one of these reeds. Do this every day, all right? Let's look at the medium reed. So I'm going to give this a soak. And again, this opening is completely round. So what I'm going to do is test this reed just how it came. Give the peep. Again, this is very hard. Okay. Let's talk about what I just played, all right? So what I just played was a very hard reed. So what I want to do, I want to try giving it a back massage. I'm going to do this for about a minute. Okay, so let's see if the back massage helped this reed at all. So that helped a lot. That back massage helped this really hard reed a lot. Now, let's talk about another solution. I'm going to dip it in water, and I'm going to close it again, just one more time. And you're going to want to get some maybe 600 grit sandpaper, nothing too coarse. Use at least 400 grit, but what I have here is some 600 grit sandpaper. And you're just gonna set the reed down on a table, a flat surface hopefully, and you're going to place the reed at a slight angle and rub it across the surface once, twice, flip it, rub it across once, twice. We're going to give it one more back massage. Remember, the back massage is training the reed to have a different opening. You want to do this every day until the reed goes to that position on its own. Okay, let's see if this is easier. And let's try it on the oboe. Okay, a slight improvement. I hope you can hear it. So the reed does sound easier. it still doesn't have that warmth to it that I would prefer. So that's the medium reed, okay? Next we're gonna look at the medium hard. Let's see how this thing plays. This is the Jones medium hard oboe reed. Okay, so let me talk about what I'm feeling here. So what I'm feeling is a reed with so much built-in resistance that it would be impossible for any student to make even a decent sound on this reed. So what I'm going to try is giving it that back massage. Let's see if I can close this reed down enough to get some lighter vibrations. Maybe. Okay. So notice that every time I close the opening, the reed becomes easier to play. So that is a very simple fix any student or band director can do if this is all they have. If this is what you have, then this is what you have to make work. So just that simple fix of shutting the reed and playing it again helps. Now let's try to see if maybe I rub this on some sandpaper. If it sounds better. So you don't want to overdo, and I'm going to repeat this, you don't want to overdo the sandpaper because you don't want the tip to be frayed. You'll make it hard to tongue. So if you're going to go the sandpaper route, please try the back massage first. Basically with this medium hard reed, maybe someone could play on this for 5 minutes and then they'd probably be doing damage to their face muscles. What I want to do now is talk about how you would teach with these reeds. So let's say I'm teaching a beginner band oboe class and my oboe players all have a medium soft Jones reed. What are you gonna do if your beginner oboes sound like this? Do you ask them to try to raise the pitch? Do you ask them to use more air? What do you do? What do you do if this is all you have? Let me tell you what I think you should do. If you're going to use Jones reeds for your beginners, do not use a tuner the first year. Let them play out of tune. Let them play loud. If you want your beginners to not develop a biting habit, you will let them play as out of tune as they need to. Let their mouths be loose. The intonation go away. Don't even think about incorporating tuners if you're going to use these reeds. It's not going to help them. The best thing you can do is encourage them to play really loud, use a lot of air, and do their best to learn all of the notes and all of their scales. But I recommend that you don't use tuners if this is what you have. You might discourage the kid, and you might give them some really nasty biting habits. Their teeth are going to be way too close together. And you want to teach your beginners to spread their teeth, so they could still get a beautiful sound. It just might not be in tune. All right? So what I want to do is I want to play on a reed that I made, a sprinkle reed. And you can buy these online at SprinkleReeds.com if you're interested. Now, there's a higher price tag for a 100% handmade reed, but the benefit is going to be worth it. So let me show you what one of my reeds sounds like. Here's the peep. Here's the air test. And here's the crow. See how easy it is? And this is a good thing, so they can relax and enjoy it. So let's play on it. So it's a nice reed. This is a nice reed. I would use this myself. And this is a reed that you could buy handmade from me if you wanted to. I ship all over the United States. So basically, you're going to be given a choice. Do I save money and have a reed that maybe isn't optimal? Or do I just spend the extra money and get a reed that works? My answer is spend the extra money. Find a reed maker that you trust, someone you can talk to if you have any questions, someone nice, someone who you think is awesome, and maybe somebody your kids could reach out to for a private lesson or a Zoom lesson even. I would be happy to do that. So what you want to take away from this is these reeds are not terrible. They are usable, but you might have to approach teaching differently, especially if you're a band director in a small town and this is just what you have. If this is what you have, make it work. But remember that you might not have the oboe sound you want. So just let your kids play loud and proud. Give them confidence, all right? And tell them they're doing great. Make sure they know their fingerings. Make sure they have all their supplies, and they'll love it. And they'll enjoy their time with you, and you'll have a good class.